You can now select the right built-in tool and handle ambiguous anchors. That keeps individual commands safe, but the real risk comes from how all the context fits together. This module tackles the memory hierarchy. We'll diagnose what happens when a monolithic CLAUDE.md breaks that hierarchy, and you'll learn to split it into modular files so the model always sees the right instructions at the right time. By the end of this module, you can diagnose a hierarchy failure and break up a monolithic CLAUDE.md. Here is how this module builds up. Scope diagnosis with /memory is the technique of using the /memory command to see exactly which CLAUDE.md files Claude has loaded in the current session. It shows the hierarchy, user level from your home directory, project level from the repo root or .claude/, and any directory level files. What it is not is a content editor or a fix in itself, it only reveals the scope, it doesn't move rules. The distinction people get wrong is thinking /memory will tell them what's wrong with the instructions, when it only tells them where the instructions are coming from. Without scope diagnosis, you get silent team divergence. One engineer's Claude follows the commit message convention perfectly, another's ignores it completely. The failure isn't in Claude, it's that the rule was placed in a user-level file that version control never touches. In production, this erodes trust in AI-assisted workflows because people see inconsistent outputs and blame the tool. The cost is wasted time debugging Claude bugs that are really configuration bugs, and the slow decay of shared standards as every machine drifts in its own direction. Take the commit message convention case. You run /memory on your machine and see /.claude/claude.md in the loaded files list, that's where the convention lives. On the new teammate's machine, /memory shows only the project level file. The call is to move the rule from your user level file into the project level CLAUDE.md. The alternative is telling them to copy your user file, but that loses because it just creates another isolated machine, the rule still isn't shared, and the next joiner will hit the same wall. The rest of the hierarchy cases follow the same pattern, diagnose with /memory, then move the rule to the widest appropriate scope. The durable rule is, any convention that should apply to the whole team must live in a project scope file that version control can share, either the root CLAUDE.md, .claude/claude.md, or .claude/rules/. Personal preferences that are genuinely yours alone can stay in /.claude/claude.md. The option to reject is telling someone to copy your user-level file, because that reproduces the isolation bug on a second machine instead of removing it. Version control, not onboarding instructions, is what makes the fix survive the next new joiner. On the exam, every symptom of inconsistent behavior across sessions or machines is a scoping question. The distractor that catches people is assuming Claude is hallucinating or broken. The real cause is always a configuration hierarchy failure. The exam will test whether you reach for /memory first, before you try to rewrite the instructions. This part is testcraft. Know that the answer is never Claude is unreliable, it's check the memory scope. Import is a syntax that lets a CLAUDE.md include external files, so you can compose exactly the standards a package needs. The .claude/rules/ directory is where you put those topic-specific files, testing.md, API conventions.md, and so on. This is composition, not conditional activation. Path-scoped Frontmatter, which you will see later, activates rules based on where a file lives. Import puts you in control of what loads, and that distinction is what the exam will test. Without splitting, a 900-line root CLAUDE.md loads into every single turn, relevant or not. That means a package that only does deployment still pays the token cost for testing rules, API conventions, and legacy migration playbooks. In production, this adds up fast. Every query burns extra tokens, and the noise of irrelevant rules can confuse the model. Splitting into topic files and using import means each package pays only for what it actually uses. That is the failure this prevents: runaway token costs and diluted context. Take the test-utils package in a monorepo. Its maintainers only care about testing standards. You create .claude/rules/testing.md with the testing rules, then in the packages claude.md you write import .claude/rules/testing.md. The alternative is leaving everything in the root file, but that forces test-utils to load API conventions, deployment rules, and legacy migration playbooks it will never use. That loses because it wastes tokens and adds noise. The other topic files, API conventions.md, deployment.md, and the rest, are on the page, the pattern is the same for each package. The durable rule is split by topic, not by file size. One concern per file under .claude/rules/. Use import to compose exactly what a package needs, and keep the root CLAUDE.md for standards that are genuinely universal. Reject the idea of keeping one big file with clear headings and trusting the model to pick the right section. That is unreliable in practice, and the exam explicitly treats it as wrong. The reason is that inference-based selection adds uncertainty. Explicit composition is deterministic and auditable. The exam will test the distinction between import composition and path-scoped conditional activation. A common distractor is a scenario that sounds like path scoping but is really about composing per package standards. You must choose import. They will also ask about token costs. The monolith burns tokens on every turn, and that is the reason to split. Finally, they will reject the answer that keeps one file with clear headings and trusts the model to pick the right section. That is testcraft. Know the difference and why it matters. So remember, when behavior drifts between sessions, suspect a scoping failure and check/memory first. Path-scoped rules override parent rules, so a monolithic file hides what actually applies. Break it up to make scope explicit and debugging fast.